to the summer of cinema! You've all got drinks in your hand, otherwise I know you'd have applauded. Let's keep the spirit of celebration alive now. The first category we're going to be talking about this evening is a summer of cinema featuring comedies. There are so many comedies coming out that I've actually selected just a few to talk about this evening. And at the top of my list stand a pair of British comedies. The World's End and Alan Partridge Alpha Papa. Both are hugely exciting. The latter is, of course, the first time we're going to be seeing Norwich's favourite DJ on the cinema screen. Whilst trying to salvage his media career, Alan ends up as an armed hostage in a situation on Cromer Pier. It stars Cole Meany, Sean Pertwee and Felicity Montague, to name but a few.
What's the one you liked?
Alpha Papa.
Why?
Well, it's radio alphabet for your initials, and also Alpha Papa. It's like Top Daddy.
You don't think it sounds foreign?
Then, even more exciting, if I could be so bold, is Simon Pegg, Nick Frost and Edgar Wright reuniting for the third part of their Cornetto trilogy. The first two being, of course, Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. This is the World's End. Why is it called that? Because old friends go on a pub crawl looking for a pub called the World's End, only to find out that the World's End might be more literal than they'd ever imagined. And trivia fans, of which I'm sure there are some, in reality, the location of the World's End was the Gardener's Arms in Letchworth. Yes, in Letchworth, that's right. Yes. No one's writing that down. That's the kind of thing people want to hear, especially if they live in Letchworth. Okay, I should mention a third British comedy out this year. Richard Curtis has returned with About Time, which opens at the end of September. It stars Bill Nighy and concerns a family whose men have the amazing ability to travel back in time and relive any moment in their past. Emma Watson appears in a couple of comedies this summer. There's The Bling Ring, directed by Sofia Coppola, in which a gang of teenagers trace the locations of celebrities on the web and then rob their homes. And there's This Is the End, which continues the cataclysmic theme this year. Here, a troupe of actors having a party at James Franco's Hollywood home are suddenly faced with the apocalypse. It's an expanded version of a teaser made 6 years ago by Jay Baruchel and Seth Rogen. This now stars both Baruchel and Rogen, as well as Jason Segel, Jonah Hill, Emma Watson, Danny McBride, and many more. Now, who's a fan of the Hangover movies? Yeah, they're pretty good. Next month, we reach the epic conclusion of the trilogy, obviously named The Hangover Part 3. The Wolfpack, including Bradley Cooper, Zach Galifianakis and Ed Helms, return to the fray. The trailer is online and looks very funny indeed.
Someone needs to burn this place to the ground.
Woo! I like that.
Lisa, can you remember me? I'm the one that picked the object. Lisa, can you remember me? I'm the one that picked the object.
Ed Helms also appears in a second comedy this summer, Were the Millers, which also stars Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis. It transpires that the Millers are a fake family created as a cover by a US drug dealer. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn return. Following up the 2005 hit Wedding Crashers, they're reunited in this comedy as two 40-something out-of-work salesmen who get offered work experience at Google among a tech-savvy workforce half their age. It's called The Internship.
We can see you guys.
Okay, good. You got us?
Hi, my name is Billy.
We can hear you fine as well.
Oh, great.
Are you ready for this? You ready for this?
Welcome to Google. 5% of you will be offered a full-time position. The other 95% of you will not.
We're looking at some sort of mental Hunger Games against a bunch of genius kids for just like a handful of jobs.
Lyle, one of the team managers. Tell me.
Rose Byrne and John Goodman are also in it. That's out in July. Talking of successful teams reforming, surely one of the most anticipated movies of the year, and I'd ask you to hold your applause when I mention it. Grown Ups 2 is hitting cinemas. Yeah. I'll give you a moment to breathe that in. Adam Sandler has made his first sequel. He's back with Chris Rock, Kevin James and David Spade. Taylor Lautner, Salma Hayek and Steve Buscemi join them in a movie that may well contain a a 3.5-minute montage of men on a water slide, which was a real high point of the original. Melissa McCarthy. Now, she was brilliant in Bridesmaids, probably the star of that movie. She's both in The Hangover Part 3, and you're also going to see her in the latest comedy from Bridesmaids director Paul Feig. It's called The Heat. She plays a Boston cop who partners with an uptight FBI agent, played by Sandra Bullock, to crack a drugs case. It's on in cinemas at the end of July. I started this section with British comedies, so I will end with British comedies. A family comedy now called All Stars. It involves a dance show put on to save a beloved youth club. Theo Stevenson, who played Horrid Henry in that film, is in this. He stars alongside Ashley Jensen, Ashley Walters, and Kimberly Walsh.
Minor obstacles. Amy, kick me. Whoa! Let's crack your dancing. What's wrong with it? Pretty much everything.
There are a few more comedies to be shown this summer. They're on your screens now. You can find more information about these at moviepreviewNetwork.com and elsewhere. That, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up our preview of the comedies